Hello everybody and welcome back, where today we're talking about Aces of Thunder, the hotly anticipated PSVR2 and now Steam VR aviation combat game from the devs over at Gaijin behind the games like War Thunder. This one promises to put you in the boots, or should I say pilot seat, of World War I and World War II aircraft in both online, PvP and single player PvE scenarios. Just like where its name is derived from, Aces of Thunder feels very similar in terms of what we've seen to War Thunder, the flat screen counterpart. Now that game is pretty massive and we're not expecting a game on the caliber of that, but what kind of game and what kind of features are we expecting from Aces of Thunder? Well, today we're here to talk about it. I won't waste your time though, there is no concrete release date information here, but there's a lot of other good stuff that you may have missed over the last couple of months to maybe a year or so ago when this game started being revealed that will be of interest for you. Also, only 25% you are subscribed, so please feel free to do so if you feel so inclined. And thank you to our patrons and YouTube members who keep this channel going. The links to all those to join are in the description below. Now, let's talk Aces. Aces of Thunder is touted by Gaijin as the ultimate VR air combat simulator. Now that is a big claim to make, but on PSVR2 we don't really have many of those. Some games are focused on fast, frenetic combat like Project Wingman, which in my opinion, once getting past its issues, still wasn't the best. And Ultra Wings 2 on PSVR2, which despite being a great game and having a pretty damn good flight model, is more about learning to fly, and its visual direction is not as realistic as Aces. Aces of Thunder is focusing on that realistic look and feel that the War Thunder games have based on the same planes. Over the last couple of months, their Twitters really dove into what types of planes they're including and the great details in them, using all of the telemetry equipment, if that's the right word for it, on the planes to aid you in combat. It'll feature dozens of legendary planes of World War II and World War I, including the fighter P-51 Mustang and the Spitfire, with more combat aircraft from other eras to come in future add-ons. Now, it's unclear whether the World War II expansion will be an add-on that has to be paid for, or whether it will be a free update. It seems like it'll come at launch, now that they've kind of shown it off in full in the last trailer, which you're seeing on screen right now. But they also posted details of bomber craft like the SB-2C, as well as focusing on the detail of the flight instruments as we spoke about before. So there's a bit of variation in gameplay here, and we'll get into that in the mission structure in just a second. We've also got information about Japanese aircraft as well, such as the A6M0, J2M Raiden, and Ki-61 Hien. So, in terms of content, we have a lot of planes here. Navigating around the game will be done by a small tablet, which you can hold with your left hand and navigate with your right. As you can see here, there are a lot of planes to choose from and a lot of battles to partake in, such as custom single-player battles and also single-player missions, as well as online battles. You can outfit your planes with different types of ammunition and different perks, it seems, from this as well, choosing what ordnance you want to take with you. As you take off, you can also slide your canopy closed, which is such a cool detail, and it seems like there are tons of VR interactions in the actual plane itself to help you do this. However, it does seem like these interactions will be removed once you start playing with a HOTAS, because I don't see how the game can track your controllers and have a HOTAS plugged in at the same time and track your hands accurately, so I'm assuming you'll give that up if you choose to use a flight stick. However, I'm sure using a flight stick will also make the game feel a lot more immersive for you in different aspects. That is HOTAS confirmed for this game, by the way. I myself do not have one, but if you guys can recommend one to me that isn't really going to break the bank but is decent, I'd be happy to pick one up and tell you how the experience is of the game when it drops. Speaking of great VR interactions, even in flight you can open and close your cockpit and interact with loads of buttons in the cockpit, as you can see on screen now. This clip's probably the best way of showing it off. And it's stuff like this that really looks like the devs care about the little details. I remember back when I was playing the Star Wars Battlefront VR mission back on the PSVR1, you were able to open the basically aim assist that Luke uses and then subsequently puts away in A New Hope, and that was such a cool feeling, and I think this will be similar, where if you're a fan of these planes and you know them in and out, you're going to be rewarded with what buttons you can press and what does what, and it's all going to feel accurate and like a dream to some flight enthusiasts. We can probably guess the game is using eye tracking, and that's because it is running at a stable 90 FPS as of 1st of February 2024, which is kind of a miracle with the vast draw distances we're seeing with the foliage here and all the details on screen. Obviously, we don't know what resolution this is running in at the headset, but I really hope that it's high because this game needs to hit. And that's because it has been a long time coming. Back in 2023, the day after Christmas, The official Twitter account said the game is almost finished, and you should expect exciting news shortly. Now, it's been a year since then, so a very long time, but the account is starting to be more active again, teasing some future news about the game. But hopefully that means the game isn't too far away, and that would check out with Sony QA. Behind the scenes, I've heard a lot about the QA process and how tough and grueling it is on some developers, and I won't get into the nitty-gritty details of submission, but yeah, it can be really tough and kind of frustrating at times, so if they're running into some issues there, that would make sense. It also doesn't help that the Sony QA, I think, were on holiday for most of January, so hopefully the game comes out fairly soon. As for content though, you do have those multiplayer battles which were originally advertised as the main crux of Aces of Thunder, but now we know that there is single player. There is a custom battle selector on that tablet we saw earlier, but more importantly, there is a single player mission selector with quite a few missions. If you look at this screenshot, there's a lot here. On this page alone, there are 9 missions fully visible, with room to scroll quite far down and a little bit up, so we're looking at maybe 15 to 20 missions, I would say, all with different parameters. For example, this mission selected here, the first strike, is set in 1944, the wind conditions are 3 meters per second, there's haze, you've got visibility rating, challenge rating, you've got the vehicle that you're using, which is the Helldiver, and your objective is to launch a bomb attack on the Japanese airfield on the island of Saipan. So it seems like there has been a fair bit of effort put into these missions because they all have different objectives. So if you prefer single player, there'll still be a lot to do here for you. If you're more on the multiplayer side of things, head in and do those classic War Thunder style battles with your friends. Overall though, there seems to be a ton of detail packed into this game. I don't know when it's coming out. Truthfully, I do not know anything. I haven't been in touch with Gaijin. If anybody from Gaijin is listening to this, or anyone from the Aces team, I would love to get hands-on with this game when it comes out, because currently I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, I'm really excited for it, and I know a lot of you are too. I can't wait to see how this one shapes up. It's one of the biggest of the year. It's a long time coming, and I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you're excited for Aces in the comments below, and I hope to see you all in the next one.